Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to the 2016 Twin Cities Film Fest, hosted by the Shops at West End and the beautiful Showplace Icon Theater that we're in. We are on our Twin Cities Film Fest red carpet. It's day 10 of 11. It's gone so quickly, but we're not done yet. We're just on the onset of our evening programming. I am joined by director Bailey Kobe. Thank you so much for being here. Your film, The BabyMoon, great poster right behind us. Let's talk about some of those story elements. You wrote the film as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of the story elements come from really just an externalization of a relationship as it's happening, you know, because I was kind of mentioning before this that Julie McNiven, the star of the film, she surprised me at lunch. She said, "I'm pregnant." And it was a coincidence. My wife was literally due weeks apart. And so I was like, I had this weird experience when I was traveling down in the Amazon jungle. I was walking through, literally, kid you not, walking through to a lost city of gold. It's a 3-day hike that you sleep in hammocks and it's a beautiful thing. But I noticed my guides had AK-47s. I was like, guys, what's up with the guns? And they were just like, well, people get kidnapped on this tour. And I'm like, you're kidding.
And I'm mentioning our storylines and our story plots. I didn't even mention that this film takes place during a political revolution. So that was the genesis of that idea.
Exactly. I think, you know, in my mind that, you know, obviously it's a very violent thing and it should never happen to anybody. But in my mind, it said something about a relationship during that time when you're having your first child. There's sort of a struggle, a rebellion, if you will, between the couple. And for me, that was a really nice externalization of this story that I was feeling, you know, as a person who was about to become a father. It was very challenging, you know, in the relationship and this whole new thing, this idea of going on a vacation, like, you know, during this time where you're supposed to be buckling down and saving your last dollar, sounded crazy to me. But when I took it, it really gave me and my wife the time to connect. It was weird, like, you know, through that daily grind, you're just like, you know, you're talking about the plans, but you never get to the why. And for me, that was the time to get to the why, and that made us so much stronger as a couple. And so I just wanted to share that experience.
Now, looking over your shoulder at your poster, you got to work with a ton of very talented cast members.
Fit all these on this. It's quite incredible. I got very lucky. I work with the best casting directors in town and in Los Angeles, and Helen Gier and Kendra Clark, you know, they fell in love with the piece. You know, I wrote this thing, you know, very quickly. As I said, Julie was pregnant. I was like, I got just a bit between commercials that I can maybe do something that might be interesting. And they read it, they loved it, and immediately it's just like, again, that sort of snowball effect of once you have the momentum. And literally I had a timeline. I was like, I'm going into production in just a few weeks because Julie's about to have a baby, so we're gonna go here. And so we didn't have that ability. You know, we had a lot of great names who wanted to be a part of it, but I'm like, can you show up this day, period? There was no like, oh, let's, you know, take our time to negotiate. I was just like, I have to go at this time, so we have to make this film. And so that's how it kind of came together.
Speaking of loving this piece and how it's been received, you have a pretty great announcement to make that we get to be a part of here at the 2016 Twin Cities Film Fest. I want you to announce it.
Well, we sort of, for a long time, we're sort of struggling back and forth of what to do distribution-wise with this film. There's so many great options for filmmakers right now. It's a great time to be a filmmaker with a small film because you can go directly. I can put this on Amazon right now, tomorrow. And there's great traditional companies, the Lionsgates of the world, who you know, bring things theatrically and bring it down through this chain of value. But we wanted somebody who we thought could get this film, because my audience is maybe going to the theater, but for the most part, I mean, they're sitting at home, you know, with their loved ones, and they're about to, you know, give birth. And so my audience, I knew where they were, and I wanted to reach them. And so we partnered with Gravitas Ventures for a distribution deal for the film, and we wanted to come to this film festival and TCFF and announce it as part of us coming here, because the timing worked out, and we just thought this was a great platform to announce that we have distribution for an independent film, which is fantastic.
It's about to be available for an audience wider than just at a film fest, just at theaters. It's going to be on video on demand. Look for it, The BabyMoon, written and directed by Bailey Kobe. Thank you so much for being with us.
February 14th. Valentine's Day weekend, okay, mind you, is when they're going to release it. That's how much confidence they had in this film. I was a bit touched and overwhelmed. But
it's a holiday release. You heard it here first at the 2016 Twin Cities Film Fest. The BabyMoon, it's screening tonight here on Day 10. We'll see you again.